Hello dear students, welcome for the second session of History chapter 5 When People Rebel. The first session was very small because there are no much topics to be discussed. But before that, are you taking good care of yourself? Are you fit and fine? Yes, I know you must be fit and fine. So without wasting time, let's start the second session. Since the mid 18th century, Nawabs and Rajas had gradually lost their power and authority. Their freedom reduced, their armed forces disbanded, and their revenues and territories taken away. The Mughal Company adopted policies to end the Mughal dynasty and thus paved the way for the British government to rule India. Many ruling families, such as Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, tried to negotiate with the company to protect their interest, but they did not get success. Now the company began to plan to bring an end to the Mughal dynasty. To make this plan successful, the company took several measures. The name of the Mughal king was removed from the coins minted by the company. In 1849, it was announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the family of the king would be shifted out of the Red Fort and given another place in Delhi to reside in. In 1856, the company decided that Bahadur Shah Zafar would be the last Mughal king, and after his death, his descendants would be called princes. The countryside peasants and zamindars resented the high taxes and the rigid methods of revenue collection. The Indian sepoys were unhappy about their pay, allowance, and condition of the Sen eyes. Some of the company's rule were violated the religious sentiments. Thus, everywhere there spread discontentments. The responses of the reforms brought in the Indian society by the British were also not positive, although some reforms were essential. The company passed law to state their practice of sati. The British language education was promoted. In 1850, a new law was passed to make conversion to Christianity easier. Some Indians thought that British were destroying their religion and their social customs, while some wanted to change existing social practices. By and by, people began to view the British as their common enemy, and therefore they rose up against the enemy at the same time. In May 1857, a massive rebellion started that threatened the company's very presence in India. Sepoy mutinied in several places, beginning from Meerut, and a large number of people from different sections of society rose up in rebellion. On 29 March 1857, Mangal Pandey, a young soldier, was hanged to death for attacking their officers in Barakpur. This was too much for the sepoys. They refused to do the army drill using the new cartridges, which was suspected of being coated with the fat of cows and pigs. Thus, tension grew between the company and the sepoys. The sepoys were determined to bring an end to the company's rule. From Meerut, they rushed to Delhi. As the news of their arrival spread, the regiments stationed in Delhi also rose up in rebellion. They killed several British officers, seized arms and ammunition, set buildings on fire. They met the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar and proclaimed him as their leader. The Mughal Emperor got support from the rulers and chiefs of the country, and together they rose against the British power. After the British were routed from Delhi, there was no uprising for few days. Then a spurt of mutiny began. Regiment after the regiment mutinied and took off to join other troops at nodal points like Delhi, Kanpur, and Lucknow. After them, the people of the towns and villages also rose up in the rebellion and rallied around local leaders, zamindars and chieftains who were prepared to fight the British. Thus, a widespread revolt shook the British confidence over ruling India. The company had no way out except suppressing the revolt with all its might. It brought reinforcements from England, passed new laws so that the rebels could be convicted with ease, and then moved into the storm centers of the revolt. The company recaptured Delhi from the rebel forces in September 1857. Bahadur Shah Zafar was tried in court and sentenced to life imprisonment. He, along with his wife, were sent to prison in Rangoon. But people in other areas still continued to resist and battle the British. The British had to fight for 2 years to suppress the massive forces of popular rebellion. The British had regained control of the country by the end in 1859, but they could not carry on ruling land with the same policies anymore. The British Parliament passed a new act in 1858 and transferred the powers of the East India Company to the British Crown in order to ensure more responsible management of Indian affairs. The Governor General of India was given the title of Viceroy, that is, a personal representative of the Crown. In the way, the British government took this direct responsibility for ruling India. All ruling chiefs of the country were allowed to pass on their kingdoms to their heirs, including adopted sons. However, they were made to acknowledge the British Queen as their sovereign paramount. Now let us learn the terms and the meaning. Sepoy is soldier. Mutiny, when soldiers together began to disobey their officers in the army. Firangis, foreigner. Here the term has been used for the Englishmen. Ghazis, religious warriors. Paramount, supreme. 1859, Governor General Dalhousie announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the family of the king would be shifted out of the Red Fort and given another place in Delhi to reside in. 1856, Governor General Canning decided that Bahadur Shah Zafar would be the last Mughal emperor, and after his death, his descendants would be recognized as princes. Second, the company passed a new law which stated that every new person who took up employment in the company's army had to agree to serve overseas if required. 29 March 1857, Mangal Pandey, a young soldier, was hanged to death for attacking his officers in Barakpur. May 1857, Sepoys mutinied in several places. 10th May 1857, Sepoys rushed to Delhi from Meerut. September 1857, Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar, along with his wife, was sent to prison in Rangoon. October 1858, a new act passed by the British Parliament transferred the powers to the East India Company to the British Crown. 1858, Bahadur Shah Zafar died in Rangoon jail. This is where we end with this session. I hope you have understood the complete chapter, and as per the instruction given last time, you must have read the textbook, written down the hard words in your notebook 5 times. Do watch first and second session carefully, read the slides, okay, and you can read the terms and the meanings and the dates, which are very important. So we'll send you question answers very soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Have a great time. Stay home, stay safe.